Hello, what's happening, people? How you doing? We're in August, lovely August. Just been with my daughter the other day because it's her birthday to meet a unicorn. So have that. Yeah. All right. So what are we doing? Okay. So last month was sort of like a bit of a longer episode. Well, saying that now I've got that new feature, the blind review. Might just start being longer CHAP casts. Just have a listen. If you get bored, turn it off. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. But yes, so yeah, so last month we was in the Chapman Band, the John Chapman Band, or the Chapman Band, whatever you like, with Paul Hamill, Sam Talent, and Matt. Forgot his surname. Yeah, so that was like, that was a nice little band, do you know what I mean? But these things don't last. But it's like in the past when like the voice finally split, and yeah, maybe the tally a little bit, but not too much. But the voice definitely, like, it's quite upsetting, you know what I mean? When because you think in your head that we didn't get to where we had to be, and do you know what I mean? But the great thing about calling the band the John Chapman Band is we split up, and do you know what I mean? It's nothing, because basically, even though the band had split, the band had not split, if you know what I mean. Like, it's still me. I'm still there, you know what I mean? I'm back out there with my acoustic guitar. So I like it. But it's hard to get people to be in a band focused around yourself, you know what I mean? Especially when you're not paying them. Yeah, and saying that, I like being in a proper band anyway, you know what I mean? I like to have that camaraderie, kind of speak. You know what I mean, though. I like to have that, you know what I mean, togetherness, if that's a word. But yeah, it was just something that I had to try at that point in my life, you know what I mean? Like, I had too many breakups, and God, where's Deirdre, eh? Okay, so yeah, so basically it came to an end. Me and Paul fell out, and well, I never fell out with Matt or with Sam. I'm still pals with Sam now, you know what I mean? But yeah, so it just came to an end, and you know me, I can't leave music alone. Do you know, I can remember like Oasis saying, and even the Beatles, like, well, if we last 12 months, you know what I mean, that's great. And do you know what I mean? But you and I swear, like, even Noel Gallagher and Liam have even, well, maybe, I don't know, more Noel than Liam, but I think they said that if when it's ready to finish, it finishes, and then they go on with their lives. But you can't, and now they know that now. You know what I mean? I'm not quite as old as them, but I know it as well. You know what I mean? You love music, and that is what you got to go and do. You know what I mean? Like, no matter who you're with, let's just have it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So sadly, the John Chapman Band disperse, and yeah, I just totally stopped speaking to Paul. He was an alright geezer. You know what I mean? Like, a brilliant musician, and do you know what I mean? But I suppose we didn't gel enough, if you know what I mean. Okay, so yeah, so that all came to an end, and then it was like, I remember walking home from that last gig at Ivory Corner at the Buffalo Bar, and I was with my wife, and we was just like walking down the road, and she sort of said, like, what's happening now then? What's this mean? And I just sort of said, no plans. I'm just gonna keep playing. You know what I mean? Do some acoustic shows, whatever. See what's around the next bend. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I just went home that night, had a good sleep, got up, and then action stations. Yeah. So thinking about what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I was having a little look on Gumtree again, just checking out what musicians were available and that. And I can't even, I probably did send a couple of people messages or whatever, but whether anything came of it, I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, so what was next then? Okay, yeah, so it was, yeah, me back doing the old acoustic stuff and that. Doing little shows around Camden and, do you know what I mean, Kentish Town where I live, and then because a few of my pals were in their own bands, you know what I mean, like so I was going to see them. I was even supporting a few of them a couple of times at some different venues, yeah. But so we after just a few gigs or whatever, yeah, because you all know about my minces. I've had it. Yeah, so like when you something happens to you or someone close to you, or do you know what I mean, you sort of get involved a bit with the charities based around what's wrong, you know what I mean. And obviously with me and it being my eyes, there was a few charities that you sort of start getting involved with, like Guide Dogs and the RNIB. And then there was another charity called RP Fighting Blindness. And the eye condition that I have is retinitis pigmentosa. And yeah, RP Fighting Blindness. So obviously them as well. And I just thought to myself, let's put a night on at some venue, and then, do you know what I mean, I'll get my pals to play on the night, and my brother, and I'll play myself, and yeah, and we'll just put this night on, do you know what I mean, and hopefully it all goes well or whatever. So my wife Angie, she was massive in this, you know what I mean, like she organised a lot of it, and then there was like help from others as well and other bands and stuff. But so we managed to get this night together, and the venue that we managed to get involved to do it for free for us was the Workshop on Old Street. It's just around the corner from City Road. Yeah, so basically, like we had a venue, do you know what I mean? Like we had the idea, and then next up was to sort of like start getting other bands involved, and so basically I just called, I can't remember who from each band I called, but I called bands: the Smokes, the Carnations, the Twice, myself acoustic, my brother Richard acoustic. Yeah, that was it. 5 acts. So we had acts, we had a venue, we had a couple of dates that they said that we can do, and then basically, like, you have to have someone sort of a bit organising things, you know what I mean, like someone on the door and all that, because I could just imagine put one of my pals on the door, they'll take the money, but go to the next pub along the street and just spend it all on beer. So I looked at some promoters that I'd played gigs for in the past, and I just, there was a promotion company, I've mentioned them in other episodes. They was called Dead or Alive, and the fella that ran ran it or whatever. It was his company or whatever. His name was Nicholas. And he was a lovely geezer, do you know what I mean? And I thought, trustworthy, that's it. So I contacted him and I basically said to him, like, I'm putting on a charity night. We're doing it at the workshop, which was one of his venues anyway that he used to put nights on at. And then I basically just said, we need someone to sort of like take money on the door. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe even like promote it slightly with your company and all that. And yeah, and he surprisingly he was well up for it. Yeah, he was like, well, to tell you the truth, he'd always helped me out. Or I was always like getting on bills that were already full of bands, you know what I mean? Even if it was for 5 songs, you know what I mean? Yeah, so Nicholas said, yeah, he's involved. That's it. Then we chose a night, and then the running order of the night was my brother Richard was on first, then me, I went on after Richard, and then after me was the Carnations. I mean, sorry, was the Smokes, then the Carnations, and then the Twice headlined it for me. And lead singer of the Twice is Josh Talbot, friend of mine for a long time. The Carnations, I didn't really know them that well. Like they was from out of London, but anyone that's into music comes to London, you're just magnetized to Camden Town. You know what I mean? Like, so I probably met them in the Good Mixer or the Dublin Castle or the Enterprise, one of them venues that we always used to drink at. Yeah, so they was involved, and then the Smokes, basically they're just the band made up of our pals, you know what I mean? Like, so, and then they was doing it as well. And also on the night, it was amazing because like me and Richard always do Mum's Word, do a song together. So the way it worked was at the end of Richard's set, I came on stage and we played Mum's Word together. Then he left the stage and I carried on my set. And then amazingly, like I spoke to Josh Wilson, who was the lead guitarist of Stage 1 Voice. He was like my schoolmate, you know what I mean? Like all the pals that were together in the original Voice, you know what I mean? That we put together, and I spoke to Josh, like, and I weren't even sure if he played guitar anymore or what. Do you know what I mean? But I sort of said to him, like, oh, it'd be nice if you got up and played No One Knows Him with me. And then I was expecting him to say, yeah, all right, mate, on your bike. But he never. Josh said to me, yeah, sweet, all right, I'll do it. And he went out, had his guitar serviced and set up and that. And then me and Josh met up, I don't know, 2 or 3 times at Des Jones' house, just to do little rehearsals of that song, you know what I mean? Like so yeah, and that was amazing, man. That was really amazing. Like, to tell you the truth, if we could get the original Voice back together just for one gig or something, that would be amazing, you know what I mean? Like me, Amon, Josh, Matty, and even like the Voice, the original lineup was Taib, Amon, Josh, me, and Matty, you know what I mean? But the only thing was, Amon and Taib both wanted to play rhythm guitar. Josh was the lead guitarist, and I don't think either of them could play lead guitar. So do you know what I mean? Josh was in his position, you know what I mean? I was the front man, and Matty was the drummer. But yes, so they so Taib was the original, like that was the original 5, you know what I mean? And then obviously Taib done one, and then Jamie Nicholas joined the band, and then a little bit later on Dave Grunberg joined us and we became a 6-piece. But it would be amazing if like me, Josh, Amon, Matty, and Tyeb, the original voice, with Tyeb playing bass though, you know what I mean? He'd have to swallow and play the bass. I think Amon actually could play the bass, I think, but I don't know. They'd have to talk about it, you know what I mean? But that would be fantastic, you know what I mean? And then, or even Jamie play the bass and Tyeb take on like what Dave was doing, and like because Dave was like a second rhythm guitarist, but he always played an acoustic guitar, so Tyeb could do that. You know what I mean? That'd be amazing, yeah. But silly things like that, do you know what I mean? It's not going to happen. We're never gonna all get back together. You know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, so that night, it went really well actually. You know what I mean? Like Nicholas was there, taking the money, sorting everything out, getting people downstairs, and then like they came downstairs, and you had all the bands on, and it ran smoothly. It was wicked. Like my missus was taking pictures. She had like a collection jar, taking money off people like for the charity. Yeah, my missus actually done really well, like, because yeah, nice one, Ange, sweet. Yeah, but yeah, to tell you the truth, the turnout weren't what I was expecting. I was expecting us, like, maybe it's because I had done it in the workshop in Old Street that people were just like, I can't go to Old Street, you know what I mean? Scared of leaving Camden, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, that venue just sort of fell into place. It might have been nice to do it at the Dublin Castle, or well, saying that, Dublin Castle, quite prestigious venue, you know what I mean? I don't know if they would have done it for us for free. But yeah, no. So it was a top night. Everything went well. We raised nearly £2,000, I think, which is, it's not bad. You know what I mean? Considering that there was only probably like 80, 90 people there. Would have been nice to get like 200 people there, and then we could have maybe made it £4,000. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it went really well, and that, and then, but anyway, obviously, the great Des Jones filmed the whole gig. Well, so I don't know. Yeah, I think he filmed everyone, but I've got my own tracks that he did for me. I think he must have sent Richard and the Smokes. Well, I don't know if he'd have done the Carnations or the Twice, because Des didn't really know them. Well, I didn't really know the Carnations. But yeah, he definitely done Richard, the Smokes, and myself. But I have got the gig for you now in a wave format. I'll stick it on here. Even though, yeah, I know this is YouTube, but like, and it's 4 videos or whatever, but the old blindness holds me back, baby. I just can't do it. Do you know what I mean? It's hard enough doing the audio. But yeah, so I've got the audio, 10 songs, not sure, but we have got the audio to the first tune, Mum's Word, with Richard, and I've also got the audio to the last song with Josh, No One Knows Him, which is amazing. And also I've got all the other goodness of CHAP CAST for you this month as well. With, well, there's another one of my pals doing Chappy Q&A, but I'll leave it till we do it. Okay, so to kick things off with the music, we have got myself and my brother Richard playing Mum's the Word. Oh yeah, it's quite funny because obviously me and Richard got the same dad, but we got different mums. My mum's Mary, his mum's Marcella. But they was both there on this evening, and both of us playing a song called Mum's the Word. Like, everyone's thinking, oh yeah, here we go. But yeah, sadly it's not about either person's mum. It is about keeping secrets. But yeah, let's have a listen. Here we go. Cheers, thanks for coming tonight. It's for a charity that's quite close to my heart. You all met my brother. He's there. Do we look like each other? Different mums. Both here tonight, actually. Marcella and my mum Mary. Thought we had to do a tune together. This is a song called Mum's the Word. It ain't about Mary and Marcella, it's about keeping secrets, but... You ready? Goes a little bit like this. Cheers, thanks a lot. And that was the first tune of the gig for moi. So that was me and Richard. And our mums were in the crowd singing along. No, okay, so yeah, let's keep it flowing. What's up next? All right, whiskey drinking Cockney Scots. Wonder who this is about. It don't ever come. This one's about Des Jones.
Thanks a lot.
Alright, it's about Robin Carter. Whiskey drinking Cockney Scots, the mixer's where you've been. Red faced anger in your silver flask of dreams. Give it up for Camden Town, The place where you spill your beans. 10 green bottles, yeah, you know what I mean. Your child grew into what you are today. ASBO tagged you all the way. Whiskey drinking Cockney's got a fist full of pain. Is what you throw around when you don't use your brain. They say you've got a mellow side, but marsh is not the word. Kentish town, born and bred, is that what you've heard? Your child grew into what you are today. ASBO tagged you all the way. That Scottish Twice is a real deep place. What goes on behind the man, you'll never understand. ASBO, 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 whiskey, drinking, Cockney, Scottish, cheers. Thanks again to the Wandering Minstrel. So Richard actually stayed on the stage and done the backing vocals to that one. I never knew that. Just listening back to it now, I know now. So do you. Yeah, so sweet. Sadly, Adam wasn't there. Okay, so next up, we've got It's Free. Yeah, this tune's called It's Free. When you come home to me in the morning, putting up a fight that sets you free. Don't stop doing what you're doing, 'cause baby, it's just you and me. You got it, you want it, it's free. You'll run it from me in the evening. You packed your bag, you've flown away. If I ever catch you, then I'm sorry, 'cause what I'll do be out of my brain. You got it, you want it, it's free. Tell mama I need to be somewhere I'm not. So come on, please, won't you help me and get me to where I belong? I'm in the wrong town, lady. I need to be somewhere I'm not. So come on, please, won't you help me and get me to where I belong? You got it, you want it, it's free. Cheers. Yes, and that was It's Free. Okay, let's just keep it moving. Next up is Black Blankets.
It's a song that I wrote to do with the situation with my eyes. This song's available for download on your iTunes for cheaper than the price of a pint. This one's Black Blanket. Please let my light shine again and watch this darkness heaven sent. Will I pass this life test and see the brightness meet the darkness? You've met the people that you've needed. Your English roads will stay completed. I'll meet the ground, find a candle, and then my life will come full circle. Black blanket, swear I'll be in the time when I can't see. Black blanket wrapped around me, keep me warm when I can't see. Looks like we're in a stationary time. Keep up your chin and let it shine. And for no reason to feel down, just give it up and feel the sound. Black blanket, swear I'll be in the time when I can't see. Black blanket wrapped around me, keep me warm when I can't see. No! Night is fallen, starless sky. This black blanket across my eyes. Black blanket, swear I'll be in the time when I can't see. Black blanket wrapped around me, keep me warm when I can't see.
Ooh, nice one. Yeah, so that was Black Blanket. Love that song. Really love that song. Okay, so now let's do one of the features. All right, let's have it with Chappy Q&A. Okay, so this is pal of mine. He was in stages 2 and 3 of The Voice, playing on the old Epiphone SG. Yeah, this is Phil Kerrigan, Chappy Q&A.
Hello, my name's Phil Kerrigan. I play guitar, former lead guitarist with The Voice with John Chapman, and this is my 10-question CHAP CAST Q&A that he's asked me to do. So here we go.
Name your top 5 bands or music acts.
5 favourite bands. I'd say that's got to be Oasis, Beatles, Rolling Stones, Fleetwood Mac, U2. I think that's probably wasn't too sure about U2 actually, but just couldn't think of anything at the time. But definitely the first 3 anyway. It's legendary, very much on every level. imaginable.
Name your favourite guitar brand and your favourite amplifier brand.
So I think for amps, I would say Vox AC30 or AC50 because it's just a classic standard. You get a classic clean signal out of it. It's supposed to, it's just one of those iconic amps that have been around. That Brian May used it, The Edge, Beatles, to name a few. I've never owned one, but I've played them in a few gigs before, and they seem right. Other than that, the Marshall, what's that? I think it was a JM C800 or whatever it's called, like the one that Slash uses. That was but again, that's I don't even think I've had that one, but I've played with a few of these before on stage, so yeah, they're good. Question. Oh, and the other thing he was asking was guitar brands as well. So I would say for that, I would say Fender, because they had the Telecaster and the Stratocaster. I mean, there was just two. I mean, you could go on all day about the Les Paul and all kinds of other guitars that I've never heard of. But I mean, these two types of guitars are just really, mad, like iconic. So I'd say. I've got a list here. Strat. So obviously the obvious ones are like Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, Dave Gilmour, and Eddie Van Halen, who really took advantage of that tremolo arm on the Strat. So that's a Strat. And then Telecaster, you've obviously got Jimmy Page, Keith Richards, Bruce Springsteen, and people like that, obviously, and myself as well, obviously. Again, I don't actually own one. I've got a. Hey, what have I got? I don't know, I've got some sort of guitar anyway.
Name your favourite venue to play at that you have played at.
Favourite venue that I've played at, I would say is probably Scala, but that was when I was in band Rusty Boat, because it was full. There were so many people there, full capacity. I don't know if it was because we got everyone there or just that everyone happened to be there that night, but it was, it just really felt like going places that time. But yeah, also for smaller venues, I think Dublin Castle was quite good. Don't know why it's just the right kind of ambience or something. I don't know.
Name your favourite venue to go and watch music at.
Best venue to watch music at, I would say, it's a bit of a cliche, but I'd say probably Glastonbury. But when I was younger, maybe not now. I went to, I think it was 2013 or whatever, the one Rolling Stones played. That was just amazing. But yeah, I think it's for the young people really. I don't too old for that now. So yeah, just probably best place to play gigs in my house.
What's your favourite place in the world?
Oh, well, it's a very big place. Other than Milton Keynes, I'd say the Greek islands maybe, and especially like Crete, Rhodes, and where else I've got written it down somewhere. Corfu, and actually I would love to one day actually visit the mainland, just to visit the Acropolis, just because. But when I was younger, when I went there, it was more like 1830s holidays out on the Raz, so. But I'd actually like to do the whole tourism sort of boring stuff one day if I ever go back there.
What's your favourite alcoholic drink?
I would say it's a difficult one, but I think Talisker whiskey. So it's an Isle of Skye whiskey. It's got a very strong kind of hint to it, very spicy note to it, and also my great grandfather actually worked at the Talisker whiskey distillery, so that's why it's become kind of my favourite. But I'll basically drink anything. I'd have a Lambrini, like really, I would. If you put a Lambrini in front of me, I'd have it.
Do you prefer Camden or Islington for a night out?
Islington or Camden Town? Well, probably neither, but no, I'd say probably Camden Town's better because it's just versatile. It has everything, whatever you look at. If you look to go out for a little daytime, little bit of food or restaurant, or going out late, or if you're out, then it's got it all really, I suppose. So yeah, I'd say Camden Town. Probably.
For you, is it dogs or cats?
Cats or dogs? Oh, it's a difficult one because this is question 8. Yeah, cats are cool as well, but I think dogs are loyal, and they're a lot more loyal than a hell of a lot of humans that I know. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, so you know, as long as you're willing to clean up the poo, then it's all right.
What is your favourite football team?
Favourite team? Well, I wouldn't call them my favourite team. It's just my team, but Arsenal. But yeah, they're just doing my head in right now. But you know, we lost 2-1 to Hibernian in a friendly the other day. I mean, but you know, you can't. I don't know. You can't change your team, can you? It's the team you've had since you was born or whatever, or from a young age, and you know. I would say I'd move over to Tottenham, but I actually, as much as I clearly don't like trophies, I don't not like trophies that much that I would move in to. Sorry, no offence, I'm joking. I've got a few friends that are Tottenham fans, just banter, you know.
For you, is it tea or coffee?
Tea or coffee? Oh, it's a tricky one. This is the last question. I would say tea, because it's just that classic staple that, you know, everything, no matter what's going on in your life, just have a cup of tea. And, you know, nuclear war outside, have a cup of tea. Getting divorced, have a cup of tea. My favourite would probably be Yorkshire tea. I don't know why. It's just they definitely got it down to a T, if you excuse up north in Yorkshire for some reason. No, sure, Lancashire as well. But yeah, Yorkshire tea or Barry's tea as well, from Ireland, or Irish guests. So I'll have. Yeah, so it's definitely between Barry's and the Yorkshire, the finest teas. Best to leave the bag in there for 5 minutes, take it out, put a bit of Demerara sugar in there, and a bit of full fat milk. Lovely jubbly, job done. So yeah, that's my Q&A thingy.
CHAP CAST.
Yes, and that was my pal Phil Kerrigan. Yeah, Phil sort of come into my life a bit later. Do you know what I mean? He weren't we never went to school together. So I mean, he weren't in The Voice. Well, I mean, he was in The Voice, but he was in like stage 2, 3 voice. Like he weren't in stage 1 voice because I didn't even know he existed. But yeah, his band Green at the time supported the school phase 1 voice, and yeah, I saw him playing, and I saw the rest of his band, and I thought they're rubbish, but he's great, and I thought I'm getting him in my band. Yeah, and that was right at a great point that the original voice was sort of crumbling around me, you know what I mean? Like, it was time to get the old broom out and sweep some stuff out the window, and pulling Phil in the band with me and Matt, and obviously Phil led to James, and then I suppose Phil and James led to Spiros through their pal John, and yeah, just like, I think that the 5 of us could have made some great fucking music, man. Tell you what, some great fucking music, but it weren't to be. But I'm up for reunions, James, B, Matt, if you're listening, you fancy a little shindig. Yeah, so all right, so let's get back to some music, and this tune is called Take Me Back. This is the song that I wrote for my pal that passed away, called Barney or Ralph Kennedy. Don't know how you knew him. I'm sure you knew him now. Love you still to this day, brother. Yeah, this is Take Me Back.
This next song is a tune that I wrote for a pal of mine who passed away. Some of you probably know him. This one's for Barney. Take me back used to be, where life was good to me, where we were young and free. Take me back to a lifetime before. Could not have asked for more than that. Nothing seems to be the same anymore. Will life let us go that way? Take me back. Take me back. Well, take me back how I need to be. Take me back how I wanna see. Take me back how I need to show all the love that's in my soul. Nothing seems to be the same anymore. Will life let us go that way? Take me back. Take me back. Sitting around with nothing to say anymore. And will life let us go that way? Take me back. Take me back.
Yes, and that was Take Me Back. That is Barney's tune. Yeah, it's mental. Every time I listen to that song, it sort of does take me back in my mind to when we was younger and that. Like, and Ingestry Road was the greatest place in the world to live. All of us, man. There was plenty of us. Yeah, I hope that song, even when other people from Ingester listen to that song, I hope it takes them back as well to the memory of Barney. Yeah, okay, so let's play another tune and then we'll do another feature. All right, this next one's Little Green Street.
I grew up on a council estate in Kentish Town. This one's called Little Green Street. Growing up on a red brick council estate, where the nights are dark but the days they're bright. Meeting up at the bottom of the stairs to play for gold. I remember run-outs playing hero. Headers and volleys will use garage free. I'm in the center, you can cross them to me. I remember building camps and climbing trees and knocking dollies with Cookie and Dean. Little Green Street leads the way to the place we used to play. Let's build a barbecue with Pizza Hill. Let's live our lives and keep it real. soldier brick into the concrete. If it hits that muck, then it's nothing to do with me. In Green Street leads the way to the place we used to play. In Gestry Road, Kentish Town. Yeah, that's my stomping ground. Cheers.
Thank you. Yeah, so that was Little Green Street, obviously written about the cancer estate in Kentish Town that I grew up on in Gester Road. Yeah, sweet. All right, let's do another feature, I think. Okay, let's have a go at the blind review. Second month, I think. Yeah, I mean, if you don't enjoy gear reviews just because you're not into music gear, and do you know what I mean? Like, you're a music listener, not a music player, you don't have to listen. You can like flick forward or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, sweet. Yeah, the blind review.
It's time for a blind review. Use your hands and let them show you. It's time for a blind review.
Hello, and welcome to the second blind review. Last month I reviewed the Boss Blues Driver overdrive pedal. Amazing pedal, but yeah, amazing for the blind and all that, do you know what I mean? But it weren't quite what I wanted, because I wanted something smaller. But I have come across a company called Tone City. And I came across this company by watching videos that Anderton's TV have put up on YouTube. They're a shop, music shop in Guildford in Surrey. And they've got quite a good YouTube channel. Yeah, very entertaining. But anyway, I saw them reviewing this new, like I suppose they've probably been around for over a year now, but they're fairly new. And the pedal that I am going to be reviewing today is the Tone City Tiny Spring Reverb. Now, this pedal is kind of perfect for me, because I've got it in my hand at the moment, and it's a lot smaller than a Boss pedal. Yeah, fits in your hand lovely. It's perfect. You know what I mean? It's probably as wide as my hand is. You know what I mean? And then it's not very. Yeah, it's got a nice little weight to it. It's like got a nice metal chassis. Like this pedal in particular is extra special for blind people, because there's only one knob, and it's just like there's the old bit you step on to activate the pedal, but then above that there's just this one knob, and in that one knob is all the sounds that this reverb pedal has got to offer. And then, so if you've got it in your hand, and the knob and the I can never think what they call these things, but what you step on to turn the pedal on. Anyway, they're both, so I've got it in my hand there, and the knob and that knobs are facing me. Yeah, so I'm just looking down at it, or wherever you're not looking, but here we go. Anyway, so right, if you turn it to the left, there is an input on that side, and that is going to be your output that goes to your amp, and it's a 1/4" jack sized input. And then put it back to the front with the knobs, and then turn it to the right. And on the right side there is one 1/4" jack, which is the jack that would go to your guitar or to your next pedal in your chain, whatever. And then just to the right of that, there's a DC input for the power, for power. It doesn't take a battery, I'm afraid. But do you know what I mean? I think it's just the. I mean, I suppose it's hard if there ain't somewhere to plug your board into. You know what I mean? But if you're on a stage and they've got amps going, they've got power. Do you know what I mean? So I'm sure getting a little extension lead, plugging your board into it, easy peasy. And well, to tell you the truth, every venue that I've ever played, which is a fair few, especially in London, there's power there for the guitarists to plug things like pedals into. So I mean, that is it. Like, it's just like, it's so simple. And at the top and the bottom, there's nothing. It's just like, at the bottom, there's like a Tone City logo, I think. And at the top, I think it's just plain. But yeah, I mean, so far, these pedals are perfect for me. Like, they're the right size. You know what I mean? You can get sort of 7 or 8 in a row on your pedal board. They are. Yeah, so far so good. Do you know what I mean? I've got nothing bad to say about them. I will get to having a little play with it, just so you can hear some of the sounds. But obviously, like, it's not going to sound great because I'm just like miking up my amp in my little studio, and so the sounds ain't going to be 1000% amazing. Do you know what I mean? But from my gear, but get over to Anderton's TV. There's I'm pretty sure that Andertons have got like the deal where they're the one shop to sell these, but I have seen another shop online selling them, and they're selling them a couple of quid more than Anderton's. So I think you should get over to Anderton's and buy them from there. This one was 40 quid or 39.99. But yeah, I mean, that is, do you know what I mean? Like, I do not need the extra stress, and blind people do not need the extra stress of like million buttons and million knobs and pots, and do you know what I mean? And it's just like, this is it, man. I'm fucking, mind my language. I am proper happy that I found these pedals. Do you know what I mean? I've purchased 4 of them so far from Anderton's. But this is the other pedals have got other little knobs, other little pots on them, but we'll come to them on another episode. But this one, the Tiny Spring Reverb by Tone City, is just so straightforward. It's like, it feels, do you know what I mean? It feels like it can take a beat. The metal bit you step on as well is just like proper. I mean, obviously you got to hear what it sounds like first before we make up any decisions. But from what I've got in my hand, do you know what I mean? Like, and I can't really make out what's on like the design or anything about it. You know what I mean? So you've got all that to come. Get over to Anderton's, check out their YouTube channel, Tone City Pedals. I think that Tone City have actually started bringing out slightly larger pedals as well, if people like that. Do you know what I mean? Really, for being blind, do you know what I mean? Like, you sort of, the Boss pedals, they are good in the sense that there's more, do you know what I mean? More bit to step on, and they're just a bit more bigger and whatever. But for me, this pedal is absolutely perfect. Do you know what I mean? And it feels like it's nice little quality, you know what I mean, for 40 quid as well. Some pedals these days are going into hundreds of pounds, you know what I mean? I think, like, obviously if you're someone that wants to pay £300 for a pedal, that shouldn't matter being blind, because you obviously have got a guitar tech, do you know what I mean, to do all that stuff for you. So, but for the average Joe, you know what I mean, like we all want these amazing expensive things, do you know what I mean? But for the working class fella, you know what I mean, like that, who's got a family to look after or whatever, and even for people that can see, these are brilliant, these pedals, and I'm sure that there is like a nice little design on the front of it as well that I can't see, do you know what I mean? And also, do you know what is top about this pedal as well, right? When I took it out of the box, laying under it was a piece of Velcro that is the exact perfect size, and it's even got like the bits cut out on the edges so you can get your old screwdriver to the screws if you need to undo them, you know what I mean? I don't know why you would, like, I suppose some people are a bit tasty with all that sort of stuff, and I'm sure that if it broke or whatever, you could fix your own pedal, but at 40 quid I don't think you need to fix your own pedal. You could just buy another one, you know what I mean? But yeah, I so far, from what I've heard and the 4 pedals that I've got from Tone City, yeah, I'm blown away, man. I think it's perfect, like perfect if you can't see, because it especially this Tiny Spring Reverb, you know what I mean? It's like it's just got the one knob and all the sounds are along that knob, you know what I mean? Like yeah, like you haven't got to select any kind of sounds or whatever where you don't know what, do you know what I mean? It's just brilliant, actually. I think yeah, well done, Tone City, man. I think these are perfect little pedals. And as I was saying about this piece of Velcro, it also comes with like a spongy sort of bit as well, that obviously if you're not sticking it to a pedal board, and you just got it on the floor, you know what I mean, it'll give you a little bit of grip to the floor or whatever, you know what I mean, and you're not going to scratch the pedal up on the floor and all that sort of stuff, you know what I mean. But I've just stuck the Velcro on all 4 of mine because I've got my little board that we might come to in a later episode. But yeah, I mean, yeah, so this is the first one that we're looking at, and that is the Tiny Spring Reverb, which says what it is. It's like a spring reverb, you know what I mean? But once you get right round this pedal all the way to the right, you know what I mean, like the sounds, there's all sorts of reverby sort of sounds in this pedal, you know what I mean? And it's just done with one knob. What else should I say about this? Yeah, so I mean, it is absolutely, do you know what I mean, for the money as well, 40 quid. And because reverb pedals can start, like I've got the Boss RV6 reverb, you know what I mean, like, and that I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great reverb, it is unbelievable, do you know what I mean? And I suppose if you're, do you know what I mean, like I'm getting on stage, I'm trying to sing and play the guitar and I can't see, and to be stomping on pedals and bending down and moving different pots and stuff to different sounds in between songs, and nightmare. That's what it is for me, a nightmare. And do you know what I mean? Like if you love all that sort of stuff, get on with it, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna ever mug Boss off because they're like one of my favourite companies in the world, and when I could see, I was getting their pedals, and then once I couldn't see anymore, some of the pedals were getting a bit hard for me. Saying that though, the Boss pedals, the 3-pot Boss pedals, they're pretty straightforward as well, you know what I mean? Like, and you'll probably get yourself a little bored of them, you know what I mean? But the RV6 reverb is like, it's like another level, you know what I mean? Like you have to proper get involved with that pedal, you know what I mean? And I don't think it is for blind people. I think you ain't got the time to be thinking about where to put different settings and stuff on your reverb. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, this pedal is the perfect size for starters, yeah, because you can get 8 of them on a small pedal board. Do you know what I mean? All in a row, fantastic. You know what I mean? And then on the front, it's got the bit you step on and 1 pot. Do you know what I mean? And then left side, 1 input goes to your amp, and then the other side, an input to your guitar or to the rest of your pedals or whatever, and also a little DC 9-volt input that you can plug your little input line and have it run into your little box of dreams or whatever, your little, yeah. I think Tone City actually do one as well, and I think it's like $69.99 on Anderton's. Yeah, so I mean, if you haven't got one, order that as well, you know what I mean, and get yourself some pedals. I think it'll power up to 8 pedals on the old 9-volt thing with different milliamps as well, like I don't know, 500 and 300 or whatever. But and then also there's usually like a 12-volt socket input and a 18-volt input as well, which I don't have any pedals that use that, you know what I mean. Reverbs, well, the Boss reverb is like 9-volt, but you would use like 500 milliamps on that pedal, you know what I mean. This pedal, don't know, it's just so simple. I bet it's just fine on a 300 milliamp setting. But yeah. So yeah, get on Anderton's website and have a look at these pedals, man, because they're great. And I didn't finish saying what I was saying about the old Velcro. Yeah, so they do the strips that come in the box with the pedal, and yeah, and it's all cut to shape. It's wicked. You just peel it off, stick it on the bottom, perfect shape, everything. You know what I mean? Sitting there cutting Velcro and trying to get it to fit into nightmare. But they have made life very easy. Do you know what I mean? You either want it with Velcro or you don't. And if you don't, you put the old spongy bit on. And if you do, you stick the Velcro on, and then boom, it sticks straight to your board. And that's fantastic. You know what I mean? And they're also a good size for that pedal board tape as well. So I think if you wanted like a bit more firmness, a bit more stuck to the boardness, you could put the pedal board tape on there really easy as well. Yeah, it's fine, perfect. So yeah, don't know what else to say to you about it, but definitely 40 quid, Tiny Spring Reverb. That's the first pedal you want in your board, and then you can move on to your modulation. But yeah, so I suppose I'm gonna plug it in and give it a little bit of a bash and see what it sounds like. Okay, nice. Okay, yes. So I've got it plugged in. Just go through what gear I'm using. The guitar that I'm playing is an Epiphone Uptown Cat, which is a guitar that I didn't even know about. And I was looking for a hollow bodied, I wanted a 339 actually, ES339, and the shop didn't have them, but they had these, and it's hollow bodied. Bit like an oversized Les Paul in a way, but it's an alright guitar. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm playing an Uptown Cat, and that is going into the Tone City Tiny Spring Reverb, and then it's going into my orange Pedal Baby power amp, and then the power amp, the orange Pedal Baby is going into a 12-inch Sub-Zero cab, and I'll play like my clean sort of tone, which is Okay, and yeah, so that's my clean tone. The reason I've got a Vox AC30, but again, for simplicity, that's why I moved over to this orange pedal baby. And the cab that I'm using is not the cab that I want, but it's the only cab I could afford at the time. But yeah, I'll do an episode on the old pedal baby, because it's another friend of a blind man. Okay, so let's just, so basically I'm gonna turn the pedal on, and then I am going to just go through the sounds, just keep moving that pot from left to right. Okay, nice. Okay, so that is the pedal with the pot all the way to the left. So let's move it round to sort of 9 o'clock. Okay. I've also got it on the bridge pickup as well, and I'll put that down now to the sorry, it was on the neck pickup, it's now on the bridge pickup, and I'm moving the pot round to 12 o'clock. Okay, yeah, so let's move it round to 3 o'clock now. Yes, and finally I will move the pot round to 6, well, maybe 5 o'clock. I don't think it goes quite round to 6, but here we go. So this is on like full effect. Okay, sweet. Okay, nice one. Well, so that is the Tiny Spring Reverb by Tone City, $39.99 at Andertons of Guildford in Surrey. Yeah, get onto their old YouTube channel and watch some videos. I think there's another thing that I watch called what's it called? That pedal show. Yeah, sorry, I thought it just slipped my mind for a second. Yeah, and they review these pedals as well. And so does Rob Chapman as well. He reviews them as well. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. You go over to that pedal show, and like they're like proper guitarists, you know what I mean, who've been playing for years and they've done this and done that. So I mean, they pretty much are into the expensive pedals, you know what I mean. I mean, if you've got the money and you want to spend it on that, sweet, get out there. But really, just for the average, do you know what I mean, working class fella, Tone City, do you know what I mean? I think they're made in China or whatever, but ships of them are getting sent here all the time. But yeah. So I mean, totally, I'm all for these pedals. You know what I mean? I'm do you know what I mean? I've got 4 so far. If Andertons or Tone City want to send me some more to have a look at, any that you feel are good for blind people, you know what I mean, and send them over. But yeah, definitely. If you're a blind fella or lady, and you want a reverb pedal that's not gonna blow your mind, you know what I mean, like, then go to the cash point and draw out 40 quid and either go down to Andertons of Guildford in Surrey, or get on their website and order them over the website. That's what I've been doing. And yeah, like the last delivery I ordered the tremolo and a black tea distortion, and yeah, one day and they was here, so pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, we will get to other pedals in next month or whatever. But yeah, so my advice is thumbs up for the Tone City pedals. I think they're brilliant. The way they come with that piece of Velcro cut to shape is just like, do you know what I mean? It's nothing big, but it's a nice touch. You know what I mean? Like, nice one. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this little review, and yeah, and enjoy the rest of CHAP CAST, and yes, I will speak to you all very, very soon. Squawk. Okay, yes. So that was the second month that I've done the blind review. Yeah, I think I might put them up as single things as well that I can share into the blind community so that they can hopefully get something out of them. You know what I mean? And I'll leave them on CHAP CAST for now as well, like just so anybody listening, yeah, no, sweet. All right. Okay, so I've still got a couple more tunes and obviously a CHAP TALE. Yeah, so let's carry on with the songs now, and this next tune is called Burn.
This next tune's called Burn. Don't listen to the lyrics. I'm not Richard. She's got me down on my knees, begging me please, baby don't dare slow down. The friction it causing when you're slamming those doors in, allowing me to burn. Take me into the flames and let me burn. Take me into the flames and watch me burn. Do you still have the feeling? Do you still feel the touch? Is the feeling that's cold? Or does it still burn? Take me into the flames and let me burn. Take me into the flames and watch me burn. Lady of leisure, burning flame. You bring me pleasure when you call my name. Take me into the flames and let me burn. Take me into the flames and watch me burn. Ooh, Lord, it's burning. She's on fire. Yeah, Lord, it's burning. She's on fire. Ooh, Lord, it's burning. She's on fire. Yeah, Lord, it's burning. She's on fire. Take me into the flames and let me burn. Take me into the flames and watch me burn.
Yes. Yeah, so that was Burn. And I have got 2 more tracks left. I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to do CHAP TALE and then I'll finish you off with the last one. Okay, so the next track is Gullible.
This one's for everybody that don't believe the truth.
That's over.
When the shit hits the fan, they got no plan, they're gullible. Follow the leader. Tracks on their feet, start to pity, they're gullible. Follow the leader. It's just like a computer game, a little blue men without no name, walking in single file. They're gonna get lost in a while. Big red bus, they're walking the road. They're gullible, follow the leader. It's just like a computer game, the little blue men without no name. They're walking in single file. They're gonna get lost in a while. so blue and without no light. They're walking in single file. You're gonna get lost in the wild. They've got no clue, they've got no idea. They're gullible, follow the leader. Thank you.
Nice one. All right, so we've come to the CHAP TALE. This next one's quite a funny story actually. Involves Mr. Des Jones, Super Des Jones. Have a listen. I hope it floats your boat and that. So I'll do this CHAP TALE and then I've got one more song and then that is your lot this month. Thank you. Yeah, have a listen to this and then we can have a listen to the last track. All right, nice one, sweet.
CHAP tales, don't you wanna hear some CHAP tales?
Hello and welcome to another CHAP Tales. How you doing? You're good, yeah? Okay, so this month's episode is gonna be about my pal Des Jones. Yeah, top fella Des. There's actually quite a few little stories around this event, but we'll stick to this one and then maybe in the future I'll tell more. Okay, so there was this festival put together called Broadstock by my at the time's guitarist's mate, and so we all decided to travel down to Hastings or just by Hastings, a place called Battle, and basically take part in this. It was the band was the Tally, and we was taking part in this festival, and then on the day that it was like the last day where things were sort of being packed away and like there was a few acoustic things going on and stuff like that. Anyway, we woke up like 'cause we're all in tents and that. We all got up pretty early, like sort of, I don't know, 7 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And when we got out of the tent, it was mad because we'd been drinking all night. Like we was in need of water big time. Like so everyone was searching for water and there just weren't none to be found. There was a house on the site, but they weren't opening no doors at 7 o'clock in the morning. So someone said, "Oh, there's a petrol station just down the road. Like I'm sure they open at about 8. Like, and by now I suppose it was like 7:20." He sort of said, "By the time you get there, it'll be open. You get yourself whatever you need, whatever, and then get back." And we was like, "Yeah, sweet, all right." So about I don't know. I think there was about 8 of us actually decided to take this trek. So we left the campsite. And then there's like this sort of country lane that leads to the campsite from like, well, a slightly larger road. So anyway, so we've gone to the end of the campsite, we've chucked a right and we started walking up this little road that seemed really short when we was driving in the old minibus when we was driving into the festival, but when you're walking it, it's it's totally different. So anyway, I'm walking along chatting to Des and I can't even remember who else was with us, but all I know is that all of us was thirsty. So anyway, after about 20 minutes, we get to the top of the road where this slightly larger road is and we're like, all right, not so bad. So we chuck a left. But what we didn't realise was if it took us 20 minutes to walk up that lane, when we got up to that bigger road, obviously the vehicle was like moving at 50, 60 miles an hour, you know what I mean? So you're covering a lot of ground in a short period. So when you're walking, we started walking towards where we knew this petrol station was, and I'm not even joking, it took us about an hour, I'd say. So in all, it's like an hour and 20 minutes to walk to this petrol station. And it was horrible. And it was like you walk half hour down the lane, and then you think to yourself, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going back. But then you think to yourself, you've nearly made it now. You might as well do the bit extra, you know what I mean? So anyway, we carried on walking, all of us, and we arrived at this petrol station. Everyone running, everyone's like getting bacon sandwiches, litres of water, litres of orange juice. And then like we're all coming out with big grins on our faces, and you know what I mean? There's no way we're going to do that walk without tucking into what we just bought. So there was like a massive patch of grass just to the right of the petrol station. So we're just all sitting there like a big picnic. Like, and anyway, Desi's he ain't come out the old petrol station yet. So anyway, we're all sitting there like we're having our grub and our drink and that, and we're looking round at each other and we're like, "Where's Des?" And I don't know, he's in there somewhere. I don't know what he's doing. He'll be out in a minute. Anyway, the old electric doors slid open, and there standing Desi with a crate of cider on his shoulder. It was like dun dun dun. So he's bowled over to us and like parked himself right next to me, and he slapped this crate of Stella down. I mean, sorry, not Stella, cider, Strongbow, I think. He slapped it down, boom, in the middle of us. Everyone straight away is just all looking at Des again. No, Des, no, I'm not getting involved in that. No way. Not after the hangover I'm trying to get rid of now. There's no way. Des is giving it the old air of the dog and all that. But even me, myself, I was like, no, Des, sorry, mate. I can't do it, mate. Do you know what I mean? I just can't do it. Anyway, so we sat there, finished off our water, orange juice, food, whatever. And in that little space, like, I think this crate had like 18 cans of Strongbow in it, and they ain't the silly 330ml cans, it's the big cans, you know what I mean? And anyway, Desi's done 2 of them before we even get up to start walking back. And I was like, oh God, Des. So anyway, we're walking back. Desi's got a crate of cider on his shoulder and a can of cider in his other hand, and he's just walking along, drinking the cider, and I was just like, fuck. Anyway, so we do this hour and 20-minute walk, and by the time we're walking back into the campsite, I think Desi's like gone through 8 cans of cider already. And like, so we're walking, and there's like people that are clearing up and doing stuff and watching little acoustic acts or whatever. And they're all looking at Desi thinking, you're nuts. Do you know what I mean? Because they all saw Des the day before, like whacking out the old local cider that they had there. Like, that was quite nice, actually. The old local cider and the local cheesecakes. Here we go. Anyway, so we've walked back down to where our tents are, and anyway, Desi's parked himself on the floor and just carried on drinking. Like, so anyway, we're there. Like, my missus was there, everyone was there, like Cookie, everyone was just, so we're all chatting away like and that, and just like having a nice rest before like we start driving home 2 o'clock or something or whatever. So we packed our tents up and that, and we just still got all our gear in a big circle, and we're just all sitting there like chatting away and all that, like. And then someone sits just out of the blue, someone's like, where did Des go? And I was like, he's sitting there. I looked round and there weren't no Des, and I was like, oh, I don't know. But like, Cookie is Desi's nephew, so Cook's a bit like, well, he was drinking quite a bit, weren't he? Like, and I was like, yeah. And he's like, let's have a look for him, I think. Like, so we're all sort of like spread out across this little festival, like looking for Des, like, and there was only a few tents still standing, do you know what I mean? But it was funny because after about half hour of looking for him, like me and Cook were standing there, and then we're looking over at these group of tents that still ain't been packed away. I suppose the people weren't even hadn't even woke up, like they're just all proper hungover, like. But in the middle of all these tents, there's like an Indian teepee, you know, cowboys and Indians, you know what I mean? Like, And seriously, it was just like funny, a big white teepee, massive it was as well. So anyway, so a few of us have like had a little stroll over to where these tents are and that. We're having a look random and that, and then it's like there's like a gap to get into the teepee, like, and someone said, "Oh, I'm gonna have a look in there," and then they've walked into the teepee and we're all outside, but then all you can hear is, "Des, what are you doing?" And we're like, we all flew in the teepee, like, and there's that there was like, I don't know, there's like travelers or something, like, just thought, yeah, we'll just plot up in this festival and sleep here for 3 days. And but yeah, so Des is sitting in this teepee, like just I don't know, telling stories or something. But I looked at the crate, and there was only 3 cans of cider left in this crate. So that's 3 left out of 18. And I'm telling you, they weren't small cans. But Des was like, he could handle his drink. I'll give Des that. I'll tell you what, I would have been I wouldn't have even got that far. Do you know what I mean? I probably would have drunk 6 cans and fell asleep. But yeah, it was funny, like, because we was all a bit worried about him, and then it was quite like comical to find him in the teepee, like sitting there, like with followers all around him or whatever. It's like bloody C3PO and the Ewoks. No, yeah, that was funny. So anyway, we went over to Des, like, we're like, Des, come on, man, we're going soon. Come on, let's go and make sure we've got all our gear and all. So he's left the tent and everyone's sort of like cheering or whatever. And yeah, so we got him back over to the others, and the others like, yeah, what happened to him? Where was he? And we found him in a teepee, and then they're all just looking at us like, all right, you found him in a teepee. Yeah, but yeah, I thought that was one of a few little stories from around that festival that I can tell. Yeah, so that was the story of Des Jones, cider, and the teepee. You love it. All right, sweet. Thanks for listening. Speak to you soon.
CHAP CAST.
Yeah, sorry. One thing I forgot to mention that I thought I've got to tell you was when we got back to the campsite after all that walk and everything, yeah, when we got over to our tents, my missus was sitting there and she had a nice big glass of orange juice and a nice sausage sandwich. And she said, oh yeah, just after you left, they came round asking what everyone wanted. And then this is what I chose and this is what I got. Oh well, nice one.
This is London's CHAP CAST.
Okay, nice. All right, we are over time again this month, but no matter, don't matter. It's a little bit shorter than last month. We will start trying to whack them into shape again. Yeah, so that this episode's been about the charity gig at the workshop. I suppose I better just say a couple of thank yous to people like Richard and the Smokes, the Carnations, the Twice, Josh Wilson, my mum, my wife Angie, amazing, Cassandra French, who narrated the evening for us, even though she did when she welcomed the Smokes on the stage, she said that the Strokes, and I think a couple of people in the audience probably thought, oh, what, the Strokes are playing. Yeah, so thank you to all them people. Thank you to Nicholas for being on the door. Thank you to the workshop and the engineer who did the sound engineering. Yeah, just big thank you for the night, and we hope that it helped Retina UK, which RP Fighting Blindness are now called Retina UK. Hope it helped them out. Hope everyone had a good time. Yeah, sweet. Okay, just trying to think if I'm no. All right, so I've just got this one last track to play, yeah, and it is No One Knows Him with Josh Wilson special. Okay, yeah, so thank you very much for listening and all of that. Get on iTunes and download all my music Thank you. Yeah, sweet. I will speak to you all in September. Cool. All right then, nice one.
I'm the talented one anyway. Oh yeah. This is the sexy Josh Wilson. We've got some top bands on after this. We've got the Smokes, The Twice, and I don't even know if the Carnations have turned up yet. They was meant to be playing. If not, me and Richard are going to have a wrestling match.
New chapter, faster struggle. 15 years in the making.
Yeah, it's been 15 years since I've had the pleasure of sitting next to this fella. Well, I was probably laying on the floor with a Jack Daniels on my head. This song's called No One Knows Him. This one's for everyone that came tonight. Thank you very much. Not the greatest turnout.
But the best looking.
But the best people turned up.
Exactly. Quality, not
I
quantity.
can smell the radiance. Beautiful people. Alright, this one's No One Knows Him, then you can have the Smokes.
Oh, yeah.
Wake up and look in the mirror, and my reflection looks back at me, yeah. The guy who looks so familiar, but who I rarely see. The guy whose life changes day by day, yeah. But his mouth stays the same. A guy who cares for nobody, because he thinks life's a game. No one knows who he is, and no one knows what's his name. They all think that he's God. Why won't he let us play the game? He don't know where it's going, and he don't know where he's been. He has probably forgotten all the things that he's seen. No one knows his future, and no one knows his past. They all think that he's the winner. How long will it all last? Mr. Josh Wilson. No one knows who he is, and no one knows what's his name. They all think that he is God. Why won't he let us play the game? No one knows his future, and no one knows his past. They all think that he's the winner. How long now, baby. Still the winner. No one knows him. No one knows him. No one knows him. And no one knows him. Just to say, we'll go crazy! Cheers, thanks a lot. Just want to say a couple of thank yous before I get off the arse. I'd like to thank Nicholas, the promoter, who I think he's still upstairs. Obviously the road trip and the workshop, all the staff, the sound man, Cassandra French.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Proper salt.
I'd like to thank my pregnant girlfriend. Even though I don't say her name on the event or whatever, she's done more than me, so you're amazing, love you. I'd like to thank my mum for putting up with my noise. What did Jamie Nicholas's mum used to say? Stop twanging! Stop twanging! Can't help it, love it. And obviously I'd like to thank every one of you that showed up tonight and give your support. Love you all. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the smokes.